Welcome to Doing Time with Joe. I'm your host, Joe Baker, back again with another episode for y'all. In this episode, I'm going to share another God conscious moment that I had a few days ago. Well, yesterday, actually, not a few days ago, but yesterday. And I'm gonna bring the story full circle. I really want you to pay attention and understand what I'm saying. And I share this story out of love because I want people to understand something when it comes to asking God to come into your life. But before I get to that, I wanted to thank everybody for the subscriptions that you've been doing, the downloads that you've been doing, and all the support you've been giving me. And appreciate it. Keep doing that. And I hope that you share all of my episodes, especially this episode right here, with all your friends and family if it moves you, okay? So let me get right to it. The other day, I'm at this facility where it's kind of laid back, right? So they try to do a lot of things to motivate, keep us inspired, stuff like that, and give us hope or whatever the case may be when they can, right? And we had this amazing, I'm going to say, counselor, mental health therapist that she puts together the program, for the talent show at the institution and whatnot, and does a phenomenal job every year. This year, she asked me to participate in it. I'm not saying anybody's name because I don't want to get anybody in trouble or anything like that. It's most definitely not out of disrespect or anything like that, right? I just want to make sure everything stays on the level. But anyway, she asked me to participate in helping her put a lot of this stuff together this year. Normally, I wouldn't even do anything like that because we had this other guy that worked here that was pretty good at that. And so I stayed, away from all of that. But this year, like I said, I decided I would go ahead and help because she asked, and then my supervisor, he voluntold, voluntold me to, assist her in this issue, which was no problem, you know what I mean? But anyway, it took a lot of time, a lot of days of coordinating, getting everything together, and I was doing a lot of the logistic stuff and whatnot. Didn't mind it because I'm, without trying to be prideful or boastful, I'm pretty good at that kind of stuff. Talking to people, encouraging them to participate, do this, do that, or whatever, right? So I had no problem in doing all that. But anyway, once we got everything straight and coordinated and we started getting people to rehearsals and all this and that, we had a day before the event rehearsal. And that day was kind of taxing because a lot of people were getting frustrated. We were trying to do sound checks, get everything situated and everything like that. And one of the pieces of equipment broke down. So it was like, okay, what are we going to do now? So anyway, with this sound guy and the other guy, they got everything together and they started putting stuff, plugging stuff in, getting it to working, right? So anyway, everything straightened itself out. Long story short, let me get to what I want to talk about. The next day, the talent show was on, right? So we're down here. Everything is going fine. The sound, everybody's sounding good. The event is going well. And I'm standing on the sidelines, and the coordinator. Now let me back up a little bit. Now on the program, the program, which was very nice. She had all the people that were participating and everything, and then on the other side of the program, she had like talent show producer is me, and then another guy, and so on and so on. Everybody that participated had a role, and she put their names on the program, which was great. I had never seen that done before, which that was a great acknowledgement and so on and so forth. And we so the show began. I was standing on the sideline, and everybody's doing what they do. The performers are coming up with making sure that everybody's getting there on time and getting up there doing their thing. The sounds are good. We're making sure everybody's enjoying it, and the crowd was hyped. The administration, the people that were there, the warden and the deputy warden that were there, and all of the people in his administration, they were there, and it was a nice show. Everything was going very, very well. Now, while I'm standing on the sideline, one of the performers that came up, which is a phenomenal artist, this man has worked with Montel Jordan and people like that. He's a phenomenal artist, no doubt about that in my mind, a phenomenal performer too. And when he was going to the stage to perform his solo, the coordinator, she said that I could not have done this without this person, telling the crowd that, right? Which was true, absolutely true. And it was great for her to acknowledge that. But right at that same moment, the devil started whispering in my ear because she didn't say my name, right? And when the devil started whispering in my ear, I immediately felt this dirtiness, this feeling. It's like, this ain't right. This is an ugliness that's washing over me. And I asked the Most High to take that away from me because at that moment I started feeling envy jealousy, and all of these things. Because it was literally almost like the devil was saying to me, "Well, what about all the work that you did? Ain't nobody said nothing about that. Why wouldn't she say something about you to the crowd? This and that." I mean, all of that was running through my head. I'm like, this is not the person that I want to be. And when I asked the Most High to come into my heart and take that out, it was like that. He did. And it was gone. And I'm telling y'all, look, I'm telling y'all, when I looked around that room after the Most High had taken that out of me, it was like the room was brighter. Let me explain this too. My back was hurting. My feet was hurting. My back stopped hurting. My feet stopped hurting. The room was brighter. I saw the warden, and I looked at his face, and he was smiling and enjoying himself, and the people in the administration were smiling and enjoying themselves. And I turned and I looked at the audience, the people in the audience that were in blue, and everybody was smiling, enjoying, and clapping and singing along with the performer, and something just washed over me. And I saw the warden. He's the warden. He's in a position of authority over me, and I respect that. But when I looked at him, I saw the humanity in him. I said, this is a man, this is a human being that deserves respect. And I never am I saying that I disrespected him, but it was something different when I looked at him yesterday. And when I looked at those people in the administration, it was something different about them. It's like these people are deserving of respect because the Most High made them. And I looked in the stands and I saw the guys in blue, those other guys that were locked up with me, and the same thoughts passed through my mind. These people are deserving of respect. I saw their humanity. And when I looked around and I looked at the band and I saw how they were enjoying themselves and I saw their humanity, and it did something to me. It was almost as if my heart just burst and I got emotional. And I'm standing there. Now, keep in mind, this gymnasium is packed full of people. And I'm standing there and I'm fighting back tears, not because I was ashamed and embarrassed, and not because they were tears of pain. They were tears of joy because I was experiencing something that I had never experienced before. It was almost as if my heart just burst and it was full of joy. And I was like, this is amazing. And I started to realize what was going on. God had taken the opportunity in the midst of me feeling or listening, almost giving in to Satan and this voice that was whispering in my ear telling me that I should be jealous and envious of what was going on. God took the opportunity to show me something that enhanced a part of me that never has been enhanced. And I started to realize that part of us, our heart, not that physical heart that's beating in your chest, but that spiritual side of you, that's like fertilizer, that's the land, right? And those emotions that we have, those feelings that we have, those are the seeds. And if you let those seeds get planted and nurture, especially those seeds of discontent that was filling me up, if I would have let those seeds get nurtured and planted and grown, and it's no telling what I would have been acting like after that day. But I immediately asked God to come in and take that away from me, pour that out of me. And he plucked that out of me. And I felt something that I've never experienced in my life. It was complete and utter joy. Complete and utter joy. And I went back to the unit. I took a shower, came back that night. I had some more work to do. And when I went back to the room, I went to sleep. I woke up at about 3:30, 4 o'clock that morning, and it was still over me, and tears were running down my face. Tears were running down my face because I felt this complete and utter joy that the Most High had used this opportunity to show me that he sees me, and I have to always be diligent and understand and remind myself of why I do what I do. And let me tell you this last part about that day that made it so special. At the end of the event, everybody was clamming around because I take pictures too, okay? So everybody was clamming around and they were like, take a picture of everybody that was in the program. Take a picture of everybody. So they all got in a little huddle and all this, and the coordinator, everybody. And I'm standing up, I'm getting ready to snap this picture and here comes this officer walking up behind me. And she says, get in your picture. Those were her exact words. Get in your picture. And I looked at her, I said, I don't do pictures. And she said, boy, get over there and take a picture. And I looked at her and I said, is that an order? But when I looked at her, it wasn't like it was an order. It was like I saw her. I saw her humanity. And at that moment, I knew that was God saying, get over there. I handed her the camera. I got over there and I took the picture. And while she was snapping this picture, I said, thank you, Father. Because I knew exactly what was going on. And I was in that moment, that God-conscious moment that I longed for. And the Most High used an opportunity that if I don't pay attention, if I'm not aware, if I'm not in that God-conscious state of mind, and I don't invite the Most High in to take that away from me, who knows what that individual thought would have led to? What action would have been on the other end of that? What action would have been on the other end of that? Me feeling envious and jealous about what was going on and because somebody didn't say my name. What is it that I would have done? And that's what I want to say to y'all. That's what I want to say. If you're ever feeling in a situation of feeling yourself feeling lonely, jealous or envious, angry, hurt, disappointed about anything that's going on in your life, in that moment, at that very moment, that very second that you're feeling that, invite the Most High in to remove that from you. Don't fight that on your own. Because when I did that, what I realized is that I have to get behind him. I can't get in front of the Most High. He has to lead the way. I had to get behind him. I had to stand in his shadow. It's not me. It's about him. And that goes for all of us. So if you're in a situation and you're feeling like that, and you got all these feelings of anger, discontent, whatever's going on in your life, invite the Most High in. I guarantee you, what he did for me, he'll do that for you. All you have to do is invite him in. All you have to do is invite him in. And he'll come. And when he comes, you are going to experience something that you have never experienced before. Complete and utter joy. That can only be given by him. They can only be given by him. And with that said, I'm going to conclude this episode of Doing Time with Joe. I'm your host, Joe Baker. And peace, y'all.